Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob, and welcome back to another episode of Universe Mode here on WWE 2k22, episode number 70, the big 7-0, as we continue our trek towards our next pay-per-view, Clash at the Castle, which is just 2 weeks away. So we're live here in Toronto, Canada. We got a little bit more build to the show, so let's see what is on store for tonight. If you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. First off, it'll be tag action. Akira Tozawa and R-Truth will team up to face Alpha Academy. Speaking of tag teams, a new tag team on the block. Riddle will team with Drew Gulak to take on Commander Aziz and Apollo Crews. Old rivalry renewed. Dolph Ziggler takes on The Miz one-on-one, and then AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal. We'll see Tommaso Ciampa take on Madcap Moss. Santos Escobar will finally take on Rey Mysterio. Their rivalry comes to a head in our main event. Shayna Baszler versus Rhea Ripley. Alpha Academy is able to pick up the victory. Drew Gulak and Matt Riddle get their tag team debut started off with a hot win. We'll see The Miz knock off Dolph Ziggler, and AJ Styles able to get one up on Jinder Mahal. It's time to watch Tommaso Ciampa and Madcap Moss. Before we get too much into this show, also, if you want to buy some Rogue Energy, use my referral link down in the description below and use code MrRob for 10% off your next purchase. That helps the channel out a lot if you do. But it's time for our next matchup. Singles action here is two superstars who are looking to gain some more footing here on Monday Night Raw. Making his way to the ring first, it is Tommaso Ciampa, who's been on quite a roll since coming up to Raw right after WrestleMania. Hasn't lost many matches here on the red brand, but also really hasn't had a bona fide rivalry just yet. Ciampa's just kind of wrestling when he can, picking up wins. He did own a win over Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode in singles action apiece. And he's been involved in a couple of things. We saw him get in the mix for the United States Championship. We saw him compete at Money in the Bank, actually beat Kevin Owens to qualify for that match. So Ciampa has some pretty big wins to his name. He's looking to keep that momentum alive here as he takes on Madcap Moss tonight. But we'll have to see if Tommaso Ciampa can get past and is not overlooking the jokester competitor. As here he comes, making his way to the ring in suspenders and all. It is Madcap Moss, Raw's draft pick in the WWE Draft. Madcap Moss used to be part of the Happy Folks tag team with Happy Corbin over there on Friday Night SmackDown. Got drafted, though, by himself. So this is an opportunity for Madcap Moss to try to build some momentum for himself, get off to a fresh start. He's going to have his work cut out for him. It's Tommaso Ciampa versus Madcap Moss here on Monday Night Raw. And here we go. Bell has been rung. Both competitors meet in the center of the ring. It looks like Ciampa with a couple of early strikes backs up Madcap Moss. Drops him there. This is a very interesting matchup as Tommaso Ciampa, we talked about, he's been on quite a bit of a roll since Monday Night Raw. Not a lot of people have been able to stop Ciampa. He's had a couple of high-profile bouts. While meanwhile, Madcap Moss, one of the newest superstars here to Monday Night Raw, was recently drafted. He's been a part of a tag team with Happy Corbin over there on Friday Night SmackDown. Didn't really reach the level of success you would have thought. He did challenge Ricochet to an Intercontinental Championship match. Won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal shortly before WrestleMania. So Madcap Moss has had a couple of flashes here and there, but this is a superstar that I think if he can tap into his potential, if potentially could drop the whole jokey thing, could be a threat here on Monday Night Raw. There's a nice super kick there from Ciampa. He has that one of the best first steps in all of WWE. So explosive. He hits the ropes hard. He's powerful. He's strong. He's quick. Madcap Moss, if he just puts it all together, could be a bright young star here on Monday Night Raw, but just hasn't been able to get the wins there. As meanwhile, Tommaso Ciampa has already established control of this contest. A couple of shots there. Another open hand palm strike as he sends Moss over the top rope and drops him with the right hand. Moss stumbles down to the floor. Ciampa quickly in pursuit. As there's a kick to the midsection here and plants him with that front face lock driver. Down goes Madcap Moss. We've seen Moss plenty of times in the past land awkwardly on his head. It seems like Ciampa has targeted that part of the body. Former two-time NXT champion It's Tommaso Ciampa, one of the greatest stars to come out of the black and gold brand. As used to call it, he is the Black Heart. But right now, Madcap Moss trying to fire back, trying to get back in this one as he whips Ciampa halfway across the outside into the barricade. That's what we're talking about. Just a little bit of strength there by Moss, but now maybe wasting a little too much time here. Lets Ciampa to get back in the ring. And Ciampa, what's he going to answer with? Another front face lock driver. Down goes Moss into the pinfall here. Ciampa gets 2, and now Moss could be in a lot of trouble. Ciampa has established his dominance, but Madcap quickly back to his feet, gets cut off there. And again, another shot to the midsection, and again a front face lock driver by Ciampa. We've seen what game plan he wants to enforce here. There's a couple of times now. He's planted Moss on his head. Now the Blackheart going to work, doing what he's doing best. As we continue to build towards Clash at the Castle in Principality Stadium. It is going to be a phenomenal show. 2 weeks away. We only have 2 matches right now on the show. We have a marquee Women's Tag Team Championship match. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley will put those titles on the line against the team of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. That is going to be a banger on the Monday Night Raw. And also we found out on this past episode of SmackDown 1200, which if you haven't checked out, I recommend doing so. It was a stacked show. We found out Roman Reigns will defend the Universal Championship in a rematch against Drew McIntyre, but this time inside a steel cage. McIntyre wants nobody in the bloodline to get involved, and he is assuring that with a steel cage match. So, going to be a phenomenal show. But back to this action. Madcap Moss starting to take his early advantage. There's now a couple of strikes. No Ciampa fires back. As ref now up to a count of 5. And Ciampa now whips Moss halfway across the outside area. He's going to make it in with a 6 count. And now Ciampa taking a little bit of breather. Maybe patting himself a little bit on the back. Clapping himself up. As Moss actually about to make his way in the ring. Ciampa tried to actually catch him off guard. Not entirely sure it worked as Madcap sends him face first into that outside LED post. And that just allowed Madcap to get right back into this matchup. Now armbar being applied here to Ciampa. Can't win here on the outside by submission, but you could definitely do a lot of damage. And this is what I'm talking about. I want to see Madcap Moss tap into this vicious side a little more. I want him to put the jokes away. Stop cutting corny jokes. You're no longer Happy Corbin's lackey. Tap into your potential and potentially rise up the ranks here on Monday Night Raw. But instead, Moss just tasted a little bit of the post himself. As Ciampa now establishing his dominance in this matchup. Ref up to a count of 6. Ciampa gets Moss back to his feet. Couple of strikes, and there's a spinning clothesline. Takes down Moss right on the button. But both competitors got to make it back in the ring. Ref up to a count of 8 here. I want to see this one in a count out. Up to a count of 9. Ciampa makes his way back in the ring. And actually, Ciampa breaks the count. I think Moss would have got there regardless. But instead, Ciampa is adamant about keeping this one on the outside. He's had a lot of success there, so I don't fully blame him. But now Moss gets back in the ring first. Count of 1. Instead, now he suckers Ciampa in. That was actually a wise move there by Madcap. Caught Ciampa coming in slow. And is able to connect with the backbreaker. And now targeting that right arm of Tommaso Ciampa. As Moss flip over, there's a nice snapmare. So you know Ciampa's had a lot of injury histories with his neck, so it's not a bad part of the body to target. But instead, Ciampa with a shot to the midsection, another headlock driver delivered to Moss. I think it's got to be at least like the 3rd or 4th one of this match. And now Ciampa could be lining Madcap Moss up. Oh, I think he might have been thinking fairy tale ending there. But Madcap Moss able to stay alive and connects a nice belly to belly. Nice scouting on display there from Madcap as he's now trying to lock in a submission move on Ciampa. He's got a sharpshooter here in the center of the ring. Okay, Madcap, apply yourself a little bit of a sharpshooter. Torque on that lower back of Ciampa, but Ciampa too strong, powers out. Ciampa very much into that fitness routine. He's able to use his leg strength to get out of it. Now kick to the midsection. Ciampa double knees into the back on that lower spine of Madcap Moss into the cover. Is that enough to put away? Madcap gets 2-0. Just a near fall. And this match will continue. But now Ciampa gets Madcap back to his feet. Couple of strikes here. Rising jumping knee. Drops Madcap, and now Ciampa could be following up again for that side knee to the temple. Madcap could be out cold. Ciampa into the cover. Gets one. Gets two. And that'll be enough. Madcap Moss falls to Tommaso Ciampa, who continues his hot streak here on Monday Night Raw. Ciampa, whatever he puts his sights on, could be dangerous as he gets to celebrate a hard-fought victory here in Toronto. Very tough matchup. Ciampa, though, able to walk away victorious while Madcap Moss suffers another loss. You have to wonder if a big change is needed for Madcap Moss. Well, this next contest is one that has been months in the making, as we'll see two great Mexican superstars go at it one-on-one. It is a non-title matchup. These two, no United States Championship on the line. Instead, this is about being the best wrestler come out of Mexico. He's making his way to the ring first. It is the Emperor of Lucha Libre himself, Santos Escobar, who ever since coming up to Monday Night Raw back in June has had one target on his mind, and that has been Rey Mysterio. Santos tried to fool us, tried to get Rey's respect, and Mysterio, he did play along. I think he thought Santos was being genuine. They even challenged for the Raw Tag Team Championships together, but it was on that night after they had unsuccessfully, Santos showed his true colors, attacked Rey Mysterio, and ever since that point, these two have had nothing but bad blood brewing. And speaking of which, here comes the other man. He is the United States Champion, not putting the title on the line tonight, but boy, what a month it's been for Rey Mysterio. He celebrated 20 years since Rey Mysterio debuted in WWE just last month, and it was on that night, the Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam, Rey Mysterio was able to capture the United States Champion, beat the former champion Austin Theory on that night, and Rey Mysterio showed that he has one more run in him, beat Ricochet on the WWE Draft night. We saw him defend the championship against The Miz. I mean, Rey Mysterio has been on quite a roll. He would definitely be in my books for Superstar of the Month. But now Rey turns his sights to his rival. We'll see if he can get past the Emperor of Lucha Libre tonight. It is a rivalry. Comes to an end here. Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio. Non-title matchup. And we are ready to go. Both superstars quickly make it to the center of the ring, and there's Rey already flying off the top ropes. I feel like that's what we're going to see a lot of in this one. The pace is going to be quick. We're going to see a lot of offense, a lot of flying maneuvers. I mean, you got the Emperor of Lucha Libre going up against probably the greatest masked luchador of all time. So definitely a very interesting matchup this one has been. As Mysterio connects a nice neck breaker there. And again, going for a springboard moonsault. Rey showing that he's still got a lot left in the tank. And then quickly, already thinking his next move, Rey jumps up to the top rope here. Lining up Santos, who's back to his feet. And Mysterio connects with a nice senton, takes down Escobar. And again, Mysterio flying off the top rope, attacking quickly and attacking early. I had a feeling this is what was going to happen. Now Mysterio trying to get the win here. Gets two as Escobar stays alive, trying to weather the early storm here. It's also interesting to know both superstars came out alone. No Dominic Mysterio at ringside for Rey. And we've learned that Santos Escobar, his Legado del Fantasma group, is actually no more, as Wild and Del Toro are actually back in NXT 2.0. So Santos does not have his crew with him. He's by himself here on Monday Night Raw, and he's trying to take it to Rey, who he just dumps to the outside, as this one will spill to the ringside area. As we knew this one was probably going to go all over the place. Escobar with the control here. This is a non-title matchup. You have to think, if Escobar is able to knock off Rey Mysterio here tonight, he would definitely be the first in line for that United States Championship, which would actually add insult to injury, able to take that title away from Rey. As Escobar, I don't think that was originally on his mind when he attacked Mysterio a couple months ago. But hey, if he's got a title, you might as well go after it, as these two continue just to trade strikes on the outside. As there's a big miss there from Escobar that actually opens up the door for Rhea to connect with a DDT. As these two continuing to fight on the outside, as Rhea gets tripped up there, Escobar takes down Rhea up to a count of 7. It doesn't seem like either of these superstars are interested to get back in the ring, as Escobar just bounces Mysterio off of the steps. Ref up to a count of 8 here. Both superstars continuing to do battle, and this one's actually going to result in a count out. Double count out. They continue to fight up the ramp. This match is officially over, a draw, but these two continue to go at it here in the aisleway. And wait a second, that's the music of the game. Triple H is here. The COO is live in Toronto, Canada. And I think he's seen enough. Triple H wants these two to come to an end. And Triple H has something that he wants to add. Well, big statement there from Triple H, but we'll get to it in just a second. It's in the backstage area. Braun Breaker has found The Miz, who's trying to leave the arena after his match against Dolph Ziggler, and he wants a piece of the A-lister. We saw The Miz come after Braun Breaker a couple weeks ago, attacked him from behind as these two continue to attack each other in the backstage area. Braun Breaker just getting a little bit of a piece of The Miz, telling him he is definitely not happy with what The Miz did a couple weeks ago. As we get ready for our main event, what about an announcement from Triple H? He wants to see Escobar and Rey Mysterio put their differences to an end next week. United States Championship will be on the line, and we'll see Kurt Angle, yes, the Olympic gold medalist, on his appreciation night. He will be the special enforcer for the match. He'll be ringside. He'll make sure that one stays in the ring. He'll make sure that they are able to come to a conclusion. But it's time for our main event. This is a big one. A famous NXT rivalry in the past makes its appearance here on Monday Night Raw. Two representatives of their respective teams come clash at the castle. Do battle in our main event. Shayna Baszler makes her way to the ring first, and now she awaits the arrival of one half of the women's tag team champions. It is Rhea Ripley, who cannot wait to get a piece of Shayna Baszler. Baszler and Ronda Rousey both drafted to Monday Night Raw in the WWE Draft, and they wasted no time after Ripley and Morgan had successfully defended their titles on SmackDown against Carter and Chance. Actually, the reasons, ironically enough, why Baszler and Ronda Rousey are on Monday Night Raw. They got Raw 2 draft picks because of that win. And those 2 draft picks ended up being Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. And now look where we are. Baszler attacks Ripley and Morgan. Ronda Rousey, you think she's going to come help. You think she's going to do the right thing. Instead, Ronda Rousey also joins in the attack of Morgan and Ripley, who went through a phenomenal title defense. Probably one of the matches of the year, if we're being honest, on that episode of Friday Night SmackDown. They went through a battle, and they get cheap-shotted by who are now their opponents for a clash at the castle. So this rivalry has escalated in a hurry as we get ready for our main event. Old rivalry renewed. It's Shayna Baszler versus Rhea Ripley. Our main event here on Monday Night Raw, as we are ready to go. Can't waste no time going to the center of the ring. It is Rhea Ripley already with the quick shots. These two had one heck of a rivalry down in NXT, but Rhea not wasting any chance, coming with the head of steam. There's a big boot to the side of the face. Drops Baszler in the corner right off the get-go. Ripley comes out of the gates firing. More strikes to the corner. These two did battle over the NXT Women's Championship Shayna Baszler, one of the greatest NXT Women's Champions of all time, a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, also a 2-time Women's Tag Team Champion, by the way. So Baszler knows a thing or two about holding those belts. But Baszler, dominant champion, held the title for well over a year. And who was it just 3 years ago who ended that reign of Shayna Baszler? It was Rhea Ripley. She knocked off Baszler, took her NXT Women's Championship, and now we come back full circle as Baszler's fought her way out of the corner, going for a pinfall here on Rhea. She gets a 2 count. And now it's Baszler looking to take a title from Rhea Ripley, trying to win the Women's Tag Team Championships with her best friend in Ronda Rousey. 2 very accomplished MMA performers in their own right. That's where their history dates back to, as Ronda is in the corner of Baszler here tonight. Ronda picked up a win last week on Monday Night Raw over Liv Morgan, so in her debut, or re-debut on Monday Night Raw since the WWE draft. And Shayna Baszler trying to make it an easy 2 for 2 as she continues to stomp away on the right arm of Rhea Ripley, definitely targeting the Aussie, trying to soften her up, as you know what Baszler is going to try to do. She's going to try to break your arm. You can see her just stomping away on that right arm, try to choke you out and put you to sleep. The submission magician, as they like to call Baszler, who just plants Rhea. Shayna been very dominant recently, coming over from Friday SmackDown. One of the better gets of Monday Night Raw. Just stinks that the way she's gone about her business, but not that we're really surprised, as she continues to hold control over here of Rhea. Stomping away on the corner, but no, Rhea fires back, gets the boot up. That's going to allow her to fight out of the corner, get from behind, a nice German suplex, takes down Baszler, excuse me. And now Ripley with the upper hand, just stomping away on Shayna Baszler. As Rhea recently coming back from an injury, and ever since coming back at SummerSlam from the injury, Rhea has not slowed down. She has been all systems go, firing away. Been a very dominant competitor who just actually got taken down there by Baszler. Nice takedown, but Baszler maybe getting a little bit too over cocky. Laughs in the face of Ripley. I don't think Ripley's really going to like that, as tries to send Baszler to the outside. Shayna puts on the brakes, but now gets caught out by Ripley and gets power slammed almost through the mat. That was a power slam with a little extra cheese on it. As Ripley tries to draw Shayna away from the ropes here. Gets a 1 count. Only gets a 1. As Baszler stays alive in this matchup. And Ripley just more stomping away at the chest of the Queen of Spades. Ripley could be centering it for something big here. Kick to the midsection. Are we thinking Riptide? Are we going for a Riptide? We are. Shayna gets dropped with a Riptide. Rhea doesn't hold the cover, as you can see in the corner. Ronda Rousey being a distraction, not allowing Ripley to get the cover, but it doesn't seem like she's going to care. She locks in this Texas Cloverleaf submission on Baszler. Baszler so close to tapping. I don't think she's going to want to tap to Rhea, but instead Baszler might have just passed out due to the pain. Ripley into the cover. Rousey not trying to help this time, as it's not going to matter. Ripley puts away Baszler by submission. What's a nice statement win here for Rhea tonight. It's a big win. Gets her team right back with some of the momentum coming into Clash at the Castle. And speaking of which, that's all we have time for you tonight. Ripley and Morgan will defend the titles in 2 weeks against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler at Principality Stadium. Also, we're getting breaking news. We've seen a lot between these 4 in recent weeks. Well, it's official. The WWE Championship will be decided in a fatal 4-way match. Bobby Lashley will defend against Sheamus, AJ Styles, and Edge. Lashley wanted somebody to step up. Well, now he has 3 challengers in his sights. Can Lashley defend the title in a fatal 4-way match? All this will go down at Clash of the Castle. We'll continue to build towards this big show. Hope you guys are ready for it. If you guys are enjoying the action, we've had a lot of big episodes recently here on the channel, and I like to keep it going. If you enjoy it, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.